Hello and welcome again to another edition of Tribulation Ready Survival. I'm Michael, and today we're going to have the topic of what would you do or what could you do if you don't have any electricity, if you don't have a generator, and if you just don't have the ability to go out and get the things that you need. Do you have them at home? Do you have the ability to fix some of the things that you have around your home? Do you have the ability to do the basic things that you need to do? So today, I'm going to bring you some ideas that I have come up with, some things that I'm planning on doing, and some things that I already do. So, let's get on with the video. Cooking. So, in an emergency situation, tribulation, or thunderstorm, or power out, blizzard, whatever the case may be, whatever emergency you're in, you're going to want to have some sort of way to heat water, to boil it, to purify it. You're going to want to cook food possibly, cook fish, cook meat, cook whatever you need to cook. And if everybody's outside cooking, I'll probably be outside cooking too. But once everybody's done cooking everything outside, I still may need to cook something. And I'm going to do that in my house. Here's an idea. Don't have any utilities, don't have natural gas, don't have electricity. So what do I have? I'm going to have this. This is a single burner butane, I'm not sponsoring the company, butane operated gas stove. And this only burns butane. So let's talk about this canister real quick. These are available at your big box stores. They're also available at the club stores, the bulk buy places. Buy them at the bulk buy. You'll pay the same price as one canister, and you'll get 4 exact same canisters. They're in the food service cooking area of the big bulk buy store. So here in a second, I'm going to show you how this works. This is so low tech. It doesn't take any electricity. It doesn't take much thought to use it, except that you need to use some ventilation in your house because of carbon monoxide. So here in a second, I'm going to cut back and I will show you how this works. Okay, so what we have here is our butane canister. Here is the notch that's cut out into it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this notch and I'm going to line it up with the one that's down inside here, right there. Okay, so I'll put the nozzle inside. And sometimes the gas does come out a little bit. So that's why you need ventilation. Okay, so once they're lined up, I set that in there. And I push this lever down. This will lock it into place. The can's going to slide forward. Bang. Now, that's in place. Now, to start this, and I'm not going to do that because I'm in an enclosed location right now and we just sprayed just a tiny bit of gas, but it's not a big deal. I would take this, turn it all the way down here to the very end where it has a igniter. Okay, that igniter is not battery powered or electric in any way, except that when you do that twist of the knob, it causes a spark from this spark plug, is basically what that is, igniting the gas. Okay, and so it starts to flame. You guys have seen this on my Uber matches video. You've seen it on other places that I've had to use some heat and fire. And it's a great tool, a great idea. Make sure you use ventilation. But you can buy 2 or 3 of these. Make sure, they do put off quite a bit of heat. And I've noticed that these canisters last for about 2 hours. Okay, so we've covered food storage a little bit as far as in previous videos. We've just covered an idea that I have for cooking, stealth cooking, if you will. So we've got cooking out of the way. Let's talk about not being able to go to the store because you can't buy clothes. Clothes are expensive. You know, we went to the store just yesterday, and luckily we were able to find a clearance rack with shirts for $1. We cleaned them out, man. We bought shirt after shirt after shirt after shirt for $1. Roughly $100 worth of shirts. $10, I think, is what that boils down to. But fact of the matter is, they had a sale. We bought the shirts. But we may not be. There may come a time where we can't go out and buy those clothes. We have what we have, or we can make clothes. If you have a sewing machine that runs without electricity, good for you. I'm kind of envious, I guess. I wish I had one, but I don't. So what do I have? I have my hands. And we went to one of our local stores here. It was a small box dollar store. And my wife picked up, and she keeps picking these up. Every time she goes in, she picks one up. They're $1 or $2. This one is 17 different types of needles for larger things. For example, carpets, awnings, upholstery, tents, car seats, etc. for big, thick string or twine or whatever you need to sew there or fix or mend. And then she picks up these here. There's 70 different sizes, types and sizes of sewing needles for embroidery and whatnot. Now, check this out. The inspiration for this video, I've been looking for one and God brought it to me. The inspiration for this video was my wife bought a brand new shirt. It had a hole underneath the armpit. Well, we could take it back. It's been long enough we can't do that. Well, I learned to sew in junior high. I wasn't very good at it. But I also had to learn how to sew when I first got in the Army. They, back then, did not have Velcro patches on any of the uniforms like they have now. You had to sew your uniform patches on. And oftentimes you'd get a patch and you'd have to switch it out with something, and they want it, you know, in a couple of days, and you don't have time to take it to somebody else who knows how to sew, so you do it yourself. I actually had a small, I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour class in basic training back in 94, sorry. And they taught you how to do things, to sew patches on and mend your pants and those types of things. But it also crosses over into fishing. Yes, fishing. Imagine that. A lot of those knots that I learned how to do, I make into fishing knots. Same kind of knots I'm going to use. Why not? They're not the specific knots for sewing, but they work great for sewing. And so I sewed my wife's shirt. 10 minutes with a couple of these things of thread, whatever color it happens to match. And boom, shirt's fixed. Just like new. And she's going to be able to wear that for, it's a good stitch. So she's going to be able to wear that shirt for hopefully a couple more years. On top of that, not only are these things good for, not fishing, but mending shirts, you can also use your own judgment, but my idea is, I'm going to use these if I have to. I'm going to sterilize them and use them to do some stitches with somebody's skin if I need to. I have practiced doing that before. I probably need more practice, but I know for a fact that if I had a pretty good laceration here that needed stitches, I could do it. I could talk somebody through it. I know it would be done, and it would be done as sanitarily as possible. So these types of things like this, a couple of bucks, man, they go for all kinds of things. Fixing your clothes, maybe even stitches or all kinds of things. Fixing things is a good idea and something you're going to have to do when you don't have anything else. You've got what you've got, and so fixing your clothes, it's a good idea. Doesn't cost hardly anything, as well as these little tiny boblets, or whatever you want to call it, not boblets, but little tiny threads. Those are, you get a whole package of those at the cheapy little box dollar store. You know, 10 or 20 of those in a little package, and it even comes with needles. So pick one of those up. It's a great idea to have it on hand. We will move to something else that's going to be important that hit me the other day in just a moment. Okay, so let's talk about tools that have multi-purposes, okay? So in this example, I'm going to pull out my Japanese Nishuka Hori Hori knife, which means dig dig. You've seen this before in my Dakota Firehole video. I made it with this particular knife. It's got a serrated edge so that while I'm gardening, this is for gardening, while I'm gardening I can cut through roots or whatever I need to, and it's got a sharp edge on it, smooth sharp edge, which I could do lots of things with. I could cut anything. I could shave, you know, wood pieces off with it. I can maybe even carve with it if I wanted to. But what I would use this for is I could use it as a fillet knife. I can use it for gardening. I can use it to cut small branches with. It's got a graduated measurements on it. But to keep this thing doing everything that I want it to do, I'm going to need to keep it sharp. So I have a really decent, inexpensive sharpening stone that I've used in my knife sharpening video. Please check that one out. As well as an old leather belt that is pretty much worn out. And it's been used as a strop to cut the burr, to bring the burr off after I'm done sharpening it. Okay, so let's talk about doing laundry. An idea, I'm not sure where I found this in a book somewhere, I don't know where it was. But an idea that I found, and it works well, is the old bucket washing method. Some people have washboards. I've never used one of those. Maybe someday I'll try that, but this bucket method works really well. And the way that I do it is I have two buckets. I have one for washing and another one for rinsing. So basically I would fill this up about halfway with whatever kind of water I have and a little bit of detergent. Not very much, because this doesn't have a whole lot of capacity. So about halfway with water, maybe a couple of tablespoons of detergent, and then you would put your laundry in here. I put in 3 pairs of pants and I washed them all at the same time, and it worked pretty good. Inside here I have a pretty good plunger that I've cut 3 holes in, and this plunger I went ahead and upgraded it a little bit. I epoxied it together so it wouldn't unscrew anymore, and I did put a little polyurethane on it just to make it waterproof a little bit more so it will last longer. So once I get my laundry and my detergent in here, I put my plunger in, snap my top on, and go to town, just like you're churning butter. Up and down and round and round. The lid helps keep the splashes on the inside and the soap and everything. And you go up and down for 5 minutes or so till your laundry is as clean as you want it to be. And then I would switch over to my other bucket, which I have. I don't have here, but it's going to have clean water in it. And I would roll everything out to get as much soap and dirt and everything else out that's maybe accumulated in there. And then I would put it in with the washing or the rinsing agent, which is just water. And again, churn it for 5 more minutes. You could have a couple of people doing this. And then wring it out and hang it up on a clothesline or hang it up somewhere over a tree or whatever you need to do to dry your laundry. So this is how we are planning to do laundry. This is an idea on it. You could also do it in your bathtub, you could do it in the shower, you can do all kinds of things. But when you don't have utilities, when you don't have electricity, this is going to work. It's going to work. Okay, we'll move on to another one. So behind me you will see that I have a workbench. This workbench is brand new. It's only been here about a week or so. And God has blessed us with the ability to put this thing together. And when I say that, he brought in the ability with a guy I know down the street to help me put this thing together. And we put this together with nails and a few screws, but mostly nails, due to the fact that if I need to take it apart at some time, I can do it without using a screwdriver or a power drill. I can take it apart with a hammer or a wrecking bar. And so to put this together, I had a hammer, I had some nails, a whole bunch of nails, and I had a circular saw and a screw gun. But if I didn't have power, could I still put this together? Absolutely I could. I've been trying to get a handsaw, great tool to have, and I hadn't had a chance to get to the store to get one, and they were kind of priced where I wasn't really biting on it yet. And my neighbor who helped me put this together was like, I have a bunch of extra saws, I don't need them, and they've just been hanging around for years. This particular one is circa 1920. It's 100 years old. It is a single directional cut saw. It is wonderful. He gave it to me. He didn't want it anymore. I don't know where he got it, but he's 80 years old. I'm sure it belonged to somebody he knew. Didn't want it anymore. Gave it to me, and this saw means a lot. Not only that, I've cut 2x4s with it. I've cut pressure treated 2x6s with it. I've cut regular 2x6s with it, and it just cuts just like I want it to. I cut all the slats for my compost bins. The frame I built out of wood that I already had, but the slats that go across it, all cut with this saw. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about finding things on the cheap, because I don't like to spend a lot of money. Now, it's spring here in Wichita, although it's snowing outside. It's spring, and that means one of two things. It means I'm going to be outside a lot, or I'm going to be inside a lot, but wishing I was outside. But if I'm going to be outside, one of the things I'm going to be looking for is garage sales. Garage sales, I love garage sales. Why? Because people put their stuff out, they're trying to sell it, they don't want to bring it back in, and they want to get something for whatever they have. That means you can bargain or bundle things together. You can get some of the things that you need, slightly used, or even sometimes new, for a very low price. People are trying to get rid of these things. Garage sales, garage sales, garage sales. The next idea I have for getting things that you can use right now on the cheap or free is dumpster diving. Okay? Now, before I say anything further, I'm going to say check your local laws. Here in Kansas, it is legal. I know that. I should know that. And I do know that. I've checked. Trespassing is a crime. Dumpster diving is not. Just don't make a mess. For dumpster diving, I've been in dumpster bins from construction sites where I've got pieces of wood just like this. This was a 2x6x8, and it was thrown away. A lot of use left in this. I'm going to put it to good use one of these days. So, dumpster diving, people throw away, especially construction sites. Don't be stealing the wood on the site, but in the dumpsters, fair game. Those guys throw away all kinds of stuff. Good stuff. And I'll show you here in just a second. What we have here is 17 pots that I found in a dumpster near where I live. They were doing some landscaping. The landscapers don't take these back to the company that they work for. They throw them in the trash. These are great, usable pots. I can grow flowers and food. I can grow groceries in these things. I can grow all kinds of stuff. And so they're going to be put to use. 17 of these things in one dumpster. Guys, there's a lot of things out there that get thrown away. Even I've thrown away things that my neighbors have picked up and they're like, hey, I can reuse that. And I'm like, good, for you, have it. Okay, so here's something else that I ran into the other day. And if you have medical issues, I do. They're not life-threatening anymore, but I have some medical issues. And one of my issues is I have to wear glasses. Not only because my vision's messed up, but I had a stroke which affected my brain. And my glasses are specifically set up to help me be able to see better because I can't see very well in a lot of different situations. Okay? So what it boils down to is without these glasses or these glasses, I'm hosed. It's going to be very difficult for me to do much of anything. And I want to be a productive part of society, and the people who are around me are depending on me. So I need glasses, okay? Well, I was sitting there just the other day, I think I was doing a crossword puzzle or something, and my glasses broke. This set of glasses, one of the screws had worked its way loose and fell out. Well, that means I'm down to one lens because the lens fell out. And what am I going to do? Well, I knew I was planning for it, but I wasn't sure exactly what I needed to do. So what I did was I had gone to, again, one of the dollar stores and purchased an eyeglass repair kit, and it came in a small little tube. That little tube came with some nose pieces that would replace the ones on my glasses, on most sets of glasses, and came with several different types of screwdrivers, 3 or 4 of them. And it fits most glasses. I'm not sure, there may be something out there that it doesn't fit. It came with a couple of cleaning pads for your lenses, but one of the most important pieces that it came with is replacement screws. It came back with, or it had enough screws in there for me to take out one, put it in my set of glasses, tighten it up to where it was, exactly where it needed to be. I popped the lens back in and I'm good to go. I tried it on my other set of glasses. You've seen me wear these. These screwdrivers and screws also fit these glasses. I'm not sure if it's a universal thing, but I think they try to keep them fairly consistent. That's my guess. Okay, guys, so I have many more videos of ideas that I could put together, and I plan on putting those together. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this one here and make it into a 2-part, maybe even a 3-part. I'd like to get some input from you guys if you have better ideas or different ideas or even other ideas that you'd like me to try. Because I'm always trying to improve myself, and if I can help you guys out with that same thing, that would be awesome. And so continue to like and subscribe and comment down below, please. As well as we have found a winner for our seed giveaway, and so those are being mailed out tomorrow. And so congratulations to you. And please continue getting a hold of us on Facebook for now while it's still allowing us to have our account. And we're going to keep putting out God's Word. And we're going to keep putting out the truth. So please, continue getting social with us on Facebook, as well as all of our other accounts. Thanks, guys, and have a good one.